This one, you'll have both. You'll have repeating lines and you'll have a radiating line, okay? This one's also kind of tricky in its radiating point as well. But here. But I think the story in this is very, very cool. Ouch, my leg. So, Ivy, you got time to scribble?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay. And let's see here. Who else is here? Jen.
Yes.
You're a good scribbler. Come on.
Okay.
So in this one, actually, let me just work with Ivy on this one, okay?
All right.
Since we're really going to primarily focus on the primarily on the radiating point. Now, this is interesting because I would say that there's probably two radiating points in this one. A very small one and a very big one. So let's shoot for the small one first. Where do you think this radiating point would be?
I will make a mark.
Don't worry if it's small or big. You just find the radiating point, and then I'll tell you if it's a small one or a big one. Okay?
Okay. I would say this one, the tip of the brush where it is touching.
Okay.
One that is like, is that the one?
No.
Small,
So the way you'll know it is you look at it and just look around it. Are there any lines coming to it?
No.
No, except for that one.
Right.
So you know that that's not it.
Okay.
So erase it. But it's close to that. So where do you see several lines converging in one spot?
Okay, 1 minute.
Come on, Ivy.
I think this point, but again.
There you are. That's it. Okay. That's the small one. And so what we're seeing in that area, let me get is we see the vertical. I mean, this diagonal coming through that point. Obviously, the painter stick thingamajiggy.
Yeah.
Paintbrush is coming through there. The eyebrow is coming through there. One thing I kind of like doing on the computer is just taking from that point and swinging it around, and you kind of get a real good sense real quick of how many little alignments there really are. These little marks here. Here's one.
Okay.
Here's one. Here's one. Maybe through the nose to the side of the mouth, actually going all the way down through the shoulders. One. Look at that. There's the edge there, the point there. So basically, the construction of that painting comes into that little mark. Now I'm going to say that's a small radiating point.
Yes.
But I do feel that there is one that's actually much bigger to the piece. Where would you guess that would be?
Is it not his knee?
Sorry. Is Terry? Shall I say that?
His knee? No, it's not. It's not his knee.
No. I was thinking, like, above, just above her, his shoulder, the artist shoulder.
Okay.
Which,
Put it in there.
Sorry.
Put it in there. Put the mark in there.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not the knee, Delisha, because ultimately it makes no sense.
Here, like, somewhere here, like, their eyes are all crossing that area and going towards.
Okay, so you're in the right area.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you said the key word. What's crossing that area?
His nose.
Ivy, what did you say that was crossing that area?
Their views, where the other people, their eyes, like,
Yes.
Yeah.
So, therefore, I'm going to say, I'm going to say that spot is right here.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense. Yes.
Because they're seeing through the artist's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, start from that point and start radiating out and finding the diagonals that are coming into that area. Okay. See the guy's hands, when you find a little area like this guy's face, you start to just run a whole bunch and you realize that his entire face has nothing to do with us showing that he's happy, which he is, but it's designed in such a way that it connects us, even his ponytail. Why isn't it hanging down his back? It's not hanging down his back. Our eye runs right through it, right through her, and right through the artist's eye. It's funny. I didn't know artists used those sticks when I was a kid, right? Until I saw this painting years ago when I was like a kid. I was like, what is that thing? I was like, oh my goodness. And so I made one for myself.
It's a maul stick.
A maul stick. I just call it the artist stick. The maul stick. Keep going there, Ivy.
Okay.
Because you're going to see that if this is important, that we see through the artist's eyes, then we need to make it so clear that we're going to need to run a lot of diagonals to it.
Sorry.
And so now, when you're composing an image and there's something important in that image that needs to be, you need to bring everyone's attention to, you know how to do that. This is the technique that you would use. And so everybody, and I love this, everybody is trying to look through his eyes, and then he's focused on that little point. So what's important to him is not what's important to them.
Even the eye here. Is this the one? Could be the eye from the.
Yeah, just keep bringing.
Okay.
Here, I'll help you, just so we can move quicker. See, I mean, you'll notice how this thing ends here. It comes through this little mark in his pants, and it ends on that little point where the light hits the dark and creates that line of the lake. Okay. Start to see these little things shift. And with this, you don't need to be super, super accurate. You're just kind of pushing it in into that area. Now, there we are. That's a really cool energy.
Yeah.
Now let me walk you guys through one last energy in this painting, which I think is really fun. Good job, Ivy. I'm going to get rid of this. Now, we do see all of these horizontals coming through here, okay? A lot of horizontals coming through here. This angle brings us up through here. The men are cut off to the side. That probably create some type of reciprocal, but we'll get into that in 2 weeks from now, for next weekend. We see these verticals coming through here. Okay, feeling this energy. She is really into this. She's like, ooh. Right? Maybe that's her. The
expression is so beautiful.
Oh, you know, it might be interesting. This guy here, who's in the black, looks like he might be the guy who's purchasing the painting. And then this might be the father-in-law and the wife and son, or whatever it might be, right? But what I want to show you is I was asking myself, well, why does he have this really strong horizontal here? It didn't make sense to me at first. And then you feel the strong horizontal coming through here. Actually, I like how it's actually broken a little bit. Let me show you guys here. It's actually kind of cool. At first, I was thinking, well, this is like a juvenile thing. Why in the heck did he break that paintbrush? But it gives you movement, which is interesting. Yeah, there's this little fine tuning of the brush. But you have these horizontals coming through here. And when it gets to this point, it then comes down. And then this is being repeated. Okay. So let me go ahead. Oh, and we also have the horizontal and the bench coming through, okay? Let me get rid of these verticals so they're not so confusing. And her. And I'll get rid of this here. I'll try one more time. I can do it. Okay. Now I'm going to get rid of this one at the bottom here. So we have these horizontals coming through, and then we have this diagonal. Now I want everybody to imagine you're finishing a painting. Okay, I want your hands to go up, pretend you're holding a paintbrush. And you're finishing a painting. And you only have to put in one mark, not 5 marks, Jen, 1 mark to complete it. Do it. I want to see you all doing it right now. How does your body move? One last mark for it to be done. Julia, I got to see your hands, girl. Now imagine one mark, and then it's done. You approach the canvas, and you're going to put that last mark on it.
Like you're going to dot an I.
Yeah. If the last mark is a dot.
Well,
Normally, it's not a dot. It's a
oh,
stroke.
just like a stroke down.
So if it's a last mark, you're going to come in straight with a little bit of, like focus, slow. And then when it's right, you're going to go like this. Boom.
Right.
And that's the energy of that piece.
Wow.
Would you say there's some pressure on
Yes.
his back to get it right?
Well,
Like press
he's making
public?
a sell. This you can tell here that this is what he does, right? He sells these things, right? So he's making the sale. He's making he has that pressure on his back. Okay. But he's intense, he's focused, he's just putting that last mark in, bam, it's done.
Right.
And that's the sense, the self-awareness that you have to be able to know what it feels like to put a last mark in a painting, to be so conscious of how your body moves, how that moves, because that's energy.
Mm.
And then to be able to translate it into line. That's what makes it such a dynamic and cool piece.
Victor, does the people behind him, their diagonal action, that sort of makes me feel like they're emotionally helping him make that last stroke.
Cool. Yeah.
They're like, okay, do it. Maybe.
Yeah, that's true. They're very supportive. I agree with that.
Yeah. Like you can do, like they're almost the cheerleaders, like, like.
John Victor.
Yeah.
Don't you think Norman Rockwell is a bit like Alfred Hitchcock?
Yeah. He's an incredible storyteller.
Yeah.
And a master of his craft.
And human drama.
Yeah.
And subtleties of human expression and all of that. It's amazing.
Let me share, let me get this up here.